Hey everyone, we're hopping on today to talk about IWLA's 2026 Convention and Expo going down in San Antonio, March 29th to 31st. We've got a select group of individuals here that are really associated with IWLA and a big part of the convention, and we're going to chat with them about who they are, what they're all about, and their connection with this year's conference and convention. First up, we are talking with Jose. Jose, could you just share a little bit about yourself and what keeps you busy during the day?
Well, Nathan, thank you for having me as part of this podcast. I'm Jose at Touzon. I've been part of the IWLA since 2022. This will be my third, actually fourth convention. I'm very excited about the convention. I have been with FedEx for about 11 years, so very excited to be with the IWLA and also part of this amazing community because it's really more than just an association, a community.
Hey, Jeremy, welcome to this little mini podcast today where we're talking about the individuals involved in this year's IWLA Convention and Expo. Can you share a little bit about yourself and your involvement with IWLA?
Yeah, happy to. And thanks again, Nathan, for having us on today. We appreciate the time. Jeremy Van Puffelen, I'm the president of Prism Logistics. We are a Northern California-based 3PL. I've been part of the IWA in some capacity since I was a little boy. My dad used to come, and he's been coming to the IWA events for 30 plus years. I've been attending on my own for about the last 20. Been working through the process, just found a lot of value in networking, meeting peers within the industry, getting involved and learning a lot through the legal process, what's going to be affecting our industry, things that we need to keep tabs on. And it's just been a lot of fun. I'm just really excited to network with people I've met over the years and hopefully find some new people coming in that can find the same value that we've found over the years.
Jeremy, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think that you have a particular role in this year's conference, some kind of title, or you're a coordinator of sorts?
Yeah, I'm on the executive board. In the second year on the executive board, you get to plan the convention. So I'm leading the convention planning committee this year and working on getting the convention put together. Team's been doing a great job for the last couple months trying to get ahead of it and really get ahead of this early bird deadline that we're working on before January 15th so that new members or new attendees can get that early bird registration discount, which is pretty significant. I think we made it $1,891 this year for the registration fee, which coincides with the year that the IWLA started.
That's awesome. I love the connection point there. Hey, Anthony, good to catch up with you again. I know that we did a lot together talking about the fulfillment forum that we both participated in Toronto last year. What is your connection again for those who may not be familiar with IWLA and what do you do to keep yourself busy?
Thanks, Nathan, for having me on. And yes, it's been a little while. I can see it's still warmer behind you where I'm up in the blustery cold of the north. Yeah, I'm the president and founder of Systems Logic. We are a partner member of the IWLA, and we're a provider of a warehouse management solution. My involvement in particular in this is actually to assist the committee in trying to generate interest from a partner perspective, from a 3PL member perspective, to really understand the benefits of why we should be here and why these events can offer a lot to organizations like mine, as well as other 3PL organizations themselves. I've been part of it since 2009, I believe, was my first event. And then I've been sort of heavily involved, as you know, in the Fulfillment Forum, something I believe in near and dear to my heart, and involved in co-chairing that and many other things at IWLA, including my goofy costumes that are occasionally seen on the socials.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing you again in San Antonio at the end of March. So, Jeremy, I know that IWLA is a strong membership-based organization and that you've been a member for a good long time, but I'm curious how that plays into who should attend the annual convention in March. Is it just for members or is it open for everyone? How does that look?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about the networking, and it's definitely a strong membership crew and a membership-driven organization, but that membership is continually growing. Anyone who is in logistics, anyone who's in warehousing should be a part of it. There's so much to gain just from the educational events throughout the year that we're really seeking to continue building. So if you've got a warehouse, if you've got a trucking operation with a warehouse, you should be a member. You should be coming in, getting involved. You'll definitely build a strong network. You'll jump right in. I think everyone's pretty open to sharing and welcoming new people. So while it's the strong club, membership, association, we're always looking for new people. And we've got a small facilities council that we added a couple years ago that is really growing to hit membership at the, lower levels. You don't have to be 1 million, 2 million, or 30 million square feet. If you've got 50,000 square feet and you're looking at how to best run your operations, the Small Membership Council is a great way to start. We're adding some things with women in warehousing this year. And really excited about where that's going and how that committee is going to drive forward. So if you're a lady getting more involved in logistics and there's an opportunity for you to attend the convention, you'll get to meet some like-minded ladies that are building their careers in this industry. So it's really open to everybody and anybody, and we'd love to have people come in and join us. It's a great group of people, and I've been blessed to be a part of it for a long time and built some really good relationships.
Did I hear you mention there's a specific networking format or kind of platform being used to help make connections?
Yeah, I'm excited. This year we're doing something a little different at the convention. We're calling it a progressive networking process. So after a day of golf, we're going to essentially have lunch together. But from lunch, there's going to be an opportunity for first-time attendees, new members to come in, meet their buddies, who is going to be somebody who's been a part of the association for quite some time. The women of warehousing are going to meet, and it'll just kind of progressively, any new member or new vendor or new partner is going to have an opportunity to meet up with people they want to connect with throughout that week. And we're doing that on Sunday before everything really kicks off so that we can start building those relationships on the front side. And essentially, it's just going to run for about 2.5 or 3 hours, an open networking area that is going to get progressively more people in it so that hopefully by the end of that, we're all just kind of walking to the initial reception together as an association. So I'm pretty excited about where that's headed, and a few more details to come on exactly how it's going to be laid out, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Hey, Jose, teeing off on your mention a while ago of you've been involved in attending a number of the conventions and expos in the past. Can you talk a little bit about what the convention is like, what it's all about, what people can expect?
Absolutely, and thank you again. Before I answer that, I do want to remind folks that we have a deadline for the early bird registration, which is January 15th, and you can very easily register through the IWLA website. It's quite a bit of savings, so I would encourage everybody to go in and not wait till the last minute to sign up with the early bird registration. But Nathan, going to the question, listen, I describe the convention as the premier event for warehouse logistics in the industry. The IWLA and that convention is one of the largest gatherings of warehouse logistics leaders in North America, quite frankly. And so this is a great and really rare opportunity to meet, the true decision makers, owners of 3PL companies, innovators, and partners in our industry. Anything that has to do with the logistics ecosystems are going to be participating in this convention. The other key benefit is the education, okay? And with education comes thought leadership. We have amazing sessions. They're very on relevant topics that are ever changing. Women in logistics, automation, labor, safety, sustainability, transportation. And these sessions are attended and facilitated by leaders in the industry, owners of companies. Anyone with a leadership role is going to be participating in this session. So it helps you stay up to date and also be part of what's next. One area of the IWLA convention, which is very unique, even though we're an association, we behave like a community. So this convention provides for very intimate and relationship-focused environment. People are going to meet others in the sessions, at dinner, at lunch, at a social, in the hall, and eventually they're going to develop everlasting, life-changing relationships that are going to help you not only stay updated, but also in your career. And then the other piece is the amazing amount of partners we have. They exhibit in the hall or they do educational sessions. It will help you absolutely stay in tune with the latest technologies and the services that are going to directly impact the warehouse logistics world as it is today, which is constantly changing. So I can definitely speak volumes on the benefits of attending this convention.
Jeremy, one of the things that I pay attention to a lot is all the conferences, forums, summits, conventions, expos that happen in the logistics and supply chain industry around the country. And I see IWLA popping up quite often with a number of events throughout the year. How do those events compare with the convention and expo itself?
Yeah, I think that when you look at the convention specifically, that's really a gathering, and I think a lot of what we've learned coming together as the association and a lot of networking. I think the education piece is phenomenal, as Jose had mentioned. There's just so much going on. We're touching base on anything that's current within the industry. Thought leaders, people who really understand the content that they're speaking on. I would say probably the best at speaking from that standpoint. They're highly educated in their field, whether that's a partner member, somebody in real estate, some of the lawyers that are supporting the IWLA. It's not just people getting up there and talking about personal experience, right? It's a quick dive into the education events that we then hold out throughout the year. So we get to touch base on it in breakout sessions and a quick period, maybe an hour and a half that we get to hear what these thought leaders are thinking and what's coming up. But then throughout the year, all the education events that we're holding do a really deep dive, and they're taking that hour and a half, and it can be a day, it can be 2 or 3 days, whether it's essentials or the legal symposium or the marketing and sales breakouts. They're getting in and they're walking through kind of step by step, really how to create, I guess, the structure within your company to be able to do marketing and sales within our industry, or really diving into what do terms and conditions look like for our industry, and how do you apply them to your company, if you're at the legal symposium. But they're doing a lot more than just that hour and a half snippet that we get during the convention together. So I think convention really reinforces what we're learning throughout the year, but taking advantage of those education sessions that the IWLA puts on throughout the year is really where you're going to get, I would say, the meat and potatoes of what these speakers are looking to do. So I know we got Essentials coming up here in January, right? The end of January, 27th, I believe, 27th, 28th, 29th, and Long Beach. I did my Essentials course. Gosh, I don't want to age myself too much, but it's probably been about 25, 26 years now. And I'm still friends with people that I did my Essentials course with. They're still in the industry and coming to IWA events. And so, you build on the networking that you get to carry over to convention, but the depth of learning is significant. I just sent my son, who joined our company this year, and I had him go to the Essentials in New Orleans. Probably not the best place to send him, but he had a great time, and I think he learned a little bit.
Good. Great to hear. So Anthony, as a partner member and a longtime participant in all things IWLA, what is your sort of takeaway? Why do you go to the annual convention?
The main reason for the annual convention, I would say, is to build relationships. It's not, we participate in things like the ProMats of the world and things like that, where it's more casting a wide net over an audience that may or may not be there, may or may not be our client. When we go to the IWLA, the very thing in business, if you're a partner member, is trying to, you build your ICP, your ideal customer profile, which, if you're in my space or if you're in logistics space, that's what the IWLA brings to their convention. And it provides the opportunity. I said that the biggest thing in sales for everybody is getting the time to talk with somebody on the other end of the phone. And I still believe in people do business with people. Mm-hmm. And the result of that is when I'm in a place like the IWLA convention, I'm able to build relationships with people like our committee chair, Jeremy Van Puffelen. For the longest time with Jeremy, we've had a long relationship. He's got a great solution already. I'd love to sell him one, but that's not, the world we're necessarily living in. But at the same time, I know Jeremy's referred me to other people because we've had time to build a relationship. And like I said, that's the hardest thing in business these days is getting the ear of those decision makers. And from a pure, strategic standpoint, it's a building full of pure decision makers. So, I'm walking there and looking to build a relationship with people over time. And some of them turn into clients over years. Some of them refer us to other people because, they've got a great thing, but they like the way we do business. And to me, that's always been the benefit of it, where, like I said, some of the other things I call them more transactional in nature. And I found the convention is a great way to build those relationships. Getting involved has been a great way to build those relationships for me to be able to extend and grow my business as a partner member over time.
Thanks for joining in today to have a quick chat. Looking forward to seeing you all there in San Antonio on March 29th to 31st.